In the darkness of the 20th century, the world witnessed one of the greatest tragedies in human history, the Holocaust, the systematic slaughter of 6 million Jews. But the question still resonates today. Why did Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime target Jews? To understand it, we must trace the roots of ideology, propaganda, and social conditions that paved the way for such atrocities. Hitler grew up in a European era rife with anti-Semitism, but he took that hatred further, making it the core of Nazi ideology. In his view, the world was divided into a racial hierarchy. The Aryans were considered the superior race, while he framed the Jews as an internal enemy who threatened Germany's future. After Germany's defeat in World War I, economic conditions collapsed. Millions of people lost their jobs, and disappointment was rampant. Hitler found a way to use propaganda. He blamed the Jews for the crisis, a scapegoat for a much more complex predicament. Through newspapers, speeches, school curricula, and even giant posters, the Nazis spread the narrative that Jews were dangerous, disloyal, and destroying the nation. They create a fictional image that is repeated over and over again until people start to believe it. For the Nazi regime, propaganda was a far more effective weapon than bullets. The Nazi regime used pseudoscience to justify its hatred. Skull tests, facial feature classification, until race studies were used to claim that Jews were biologically inferior. All of this is not science, but rather a political tool to erase the human values of certain groups. The next step was dehumanization. Jews were forced to wear special markings, forbidden to work, forbidden to own businesses, and segregated from society. They were no longer treated as human beings, but as objects. This process of erasing humanity opened the door to further brutal acts. When World War II began, discriminatory policies turned into extermination policies. Ghettos were established, mass deportations were carried out, and concentration camps began operating as organized death machines. All this takes place under the cold, planned supervision of the military and bureaucratic system. The Holocaust was not a sudden event. It was born out of a combination of ideological hatred, propaganda, social crisis, and totalitarian rule. Understanding this dark period reminds us that genocide does not begin with guns, but with words. By learning from history, we keep the truth alive and tragedies like this from happening again.
Don't forget to click like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you.